Listen to this song and forgot to go live for my walk home. Come on. React to my finger, please. Oh, it's cold. There it goes. How to breathe again. I feel I'm gonna die inside my skin. Life is gonna be the last time that we fight or go at each other's throats because I wanna run. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ba 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 diddle da ba diddle da ba diddle da ba diddle da doodle So I'm going to be honest with you. As I walk, I'm getting the sense that tonight is Friday, and the people who've been hanging out with me during the week are going to be busy because it's Friday. People go out and do shit on Friday. So if I have great big silences tonight, I'm not going to try to keep your attention. I'm just going to play 7 days. I got my battery bank charged. I'm just going to put my phone down, give it the night off, play some 7 days, get that recorded, and go to bed. Who have we got here? Hello, Shiba Inu, how are you? Stand aside now, no one will survive. Can tell you how I know. And them time I will change minor than they know. Thank you, Sheba. Down the line, you can see me walk down my way by the one who did this to us. Well, he got away. Well, thank you, Shark Gang. I appreciate that, and thank you again, Sheba. I'm glad you love my style so much, Michelle. Keep it quiet here. I will not tolerate your noise. This is when I listen for do. I am not a Bears fan. No, I'm a Bengals fan, and really I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm a NFL fan. I just love the game. I grew up a Dolphins fan and had to break up with them over Tua, so I watched the whole league. But shortly after the year, maybe the next season after I broke up with Tua and the Dolphins, my then girlfriend wanted to get involved. She wanted to watch the games with me, so she decided that she wanted to be a Bears fan. because she wanted to root for Justin Fields because he went to OSU and we're in Ohio. And I kept telling her, you really don't want to do that. You really want to root for another team. That's not going to work out. Eberflus isn't going to work out. And she wasn't into it. And then they drafted Caleb Williams right before she and I broke up. And she was, oh, I'm not going to root for Caleb Williams. I'm going to stay a Bears fan, but I'm going to root for him and Ben Johnson to break up and for Ben Johnson's career to be all whatever. Because I've been rooting for Ben Johnson since he was a positions coach with the Dolphins. So I'm a Ben Johnson fan, is what I am. I love Ben Johnson. The Ravens, Steelers, Buccaneers in Dallas. I'm rooting for the Bucs this year. I'm a Baker Mayfield fan. I've kind of transitioned from fan of teams because the owners are so difficult to predict, and I'm not a fan of any of them because they're just not front facing. To fans of players. I'm a fan of players. Dreams. Hey, Tyrannosaurus, what's up? How you doing, buddy? Thumbs up for sure. Thank you. Okay. I gotta change my batteries in my overhead. So I got... My headphone just died in the room. Okay, so just nothing problems with it. That's how we're doing this, huh? Okay. Great. Okay. I don't actually know what I did with that pack of batteries. All at it, because I bought them. I don't know what I did with them. Okay, here we go. I know it's dark. This is home. You get Gamecocks gloves? That's cool. That's fun, Shark Gang. South Carolina. I was supposed to be a Tar Heel fan. Supposed to be a Buckeye fan too. I find college football unconscionable, so I don't watch. Shayball. There we go. New batteries. Nope. Something ain't right. Come on, you fucking thing. There we go. There it is. Maybe 15 feet, not even. Maybe like about 6 feet. I don't say you again. Marilyn May, German fair, there's close by, that's a land, boy. 8 plus 3 times 2. I don't remember the order of operations anymore. I think that 8 plus 3 times 2 is 22. Okay, camera guy. In the path carved with unrivaled skill. Heard that, shark. Heard that. Hello, Jose. Heard that, shark. Hopefully that goes well for you. I got days cross into the screaming of his voice. Okay. There we go. There's that. Into the tent for me. Taking my shoes off. I think I'm ready to be done with these shoes. Or these socks are starting to make my feet itch, I think. I'll do it in the morning, though. Because I'm going to pull the socks that I'm going to put on my feet into my sleeping bags with me and let them get all toasty warm from my body heat. Because right now they're froze. They're all cold and shit. So, stinky feet, one more night. And they'll be not stinky for 2 nights. There's that. And that. Whew. Comfy. Okay. Stand that up right there for just a second. So hope everyone is doing well tonight. Hope we're having good times. I'll go back to reading on Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and take tonight off for sure from reading. So from those of you who are here to hear me read, anticipated on Sunday, I'm working on a sinus infection. So I'm going to give my voice the night off the best I can. I'm not going to be doing voices. And I'm going to be doing my best to also, likewise, not elevate myself emotionally. Just hang out for so long as the conversation is comfortable, enjoyable, stimulating, and relevant to me and my interests. My show, my channel. And then I'm gonna skedaddle from being online. Rachie, my girl, she doesn't work on Saturday and Sunday, so she doesn't wake up at 4 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. So I have no reason to be there to greet her on Saturday or Sunday. No, I'm not in the woods, Timothy. Hey, Christopher, what's up? I had a doohickey between my eyes in the comments. How we doing? For sure, Tyrannosaurus. I don't know what that means exactly, but indeed. I appreciate your good mood, your good cheer, and your enthusiasm to share it, Tyrannosaurus. Heard that, Chris. I don't know what that means, but heard that. I don't know everything, guys. Just for anybody who's surprised that I can admit to not knowing what a thing is. Oh, that feels so good. That's nasty. But now it's no longer a part of my... Oh, generative AI, that's fun. My my Cash App, all the places that you can go to donate to the channel are in my profile. Lexus. Oh, how'd that? I just use Gemini. I find Gemini sufficient to my needs. And it's built into my phone. They do pay for it, though. I think I pay $25 a month for it. So I put her to use. Sometimes I have conversations with her that I put on the channel. Sometimes I have conversations with her that I put on Patreon. There we go. Full on Vegeta now, motherfuckers. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna marvel as I approach 9,000. What's up? Is that Warren? Hey, Warren. What's up, Opium? How you doing? Heard that, Chris. Gunk in my eye. That's cool. I don't know that I would use it for that, but it's your money, it's your time. I'm glad to hear you're good, Opium. Hope the family's good, hope the kid's good. I hope the holiday season isn't approaching too fast for you, but I hope it also gets itself over with quickly for you. All right, whichever thing you would like the most is what I'm hoping for happening in the greatest quantity. There we go. And again, just so nobody feels pressured in any kind of way. Why, Alexis? Why? So nobody feels pressured in any kind of way. If this slows down, I'm tired. It's Friday. Most people take Fridays and enjoy themselves, and then they do the same into Saturday, and then they do a little bit of chores around the house or whatever into Sunday. So if the conversation is slower stuff, I'm just here to be available to say hello to, and then we'll catch back up tomorrow. I don't have anything creative I want to share tonight. Here to say hello, here to heard that, Chris. That's fun. It's like being a medieval monarch. Gathering all the greatest minds in your kingdom together and listening to their just everything. I use Gemini instead of Google, Christopher. So, mostly etymologies. Um, I'll talk to it about the things, the books that I'm reading, the things I'm learning to make sure that I have um, comprehension and that I can communicate what I'm thinking and I can ask good questions. and that I can articulate that I understand the subject matter that I'm reading is mostly what I use Gemini for. Okay, Shark. Yeah, that's what I use it for. And I have it generate the thumbnails for my channel. She gets frustrated with me. Gemini gets frustrated with me because I don't really want her to be creative or collaborative. I just want her to. I want her to evaluate what I'm saying for error. And so after a while, she gets frustrated and she'll change the subject. Happens a lot, actually. Do you mean battle formations, Tyrannosaurus? No, I'm not going to give Elon Musk or any of his subsidiary corporations my money, Shark. No. Okay, so in meditation, I'm not sure what you're asking me. I'm not entirely sure what you're asking me, Tyrannosaurus. Do you mean, okay, so do you mean early gunpowder uh, battle formations like the British used in the Revolution? Is that what you're talking about? My favorite Pokemon? Bulbasaur. I don't know. No, we talked about this the other night. I've played it and I didn't enjoy it. Okay, so you're asking me if regiment soldiers in the, let's just pick a century, 18th century uh, during squad formation, early rifling musket times. You're asking me whether they were philosophers as well, whether they were soldier philosophers. I just want to make sure I know exactly who you're talking about, so I can understand the question you're asking me. Okay, you're asking me whether they made soldier philosophers? No, they were just like you and me. More like you than like me. They were professionals, and the only way you didn't get easily killed was to stay in those formations. Can't turn your guns to fire side by side in those formations, and you're an easy target if you're not in those formations. So, um, the way those battles were actually fought is that those people stood like that because there were people on horsebacks, and the people on horseback were the people who were really lethal. The people on horseback were the people who were really lethal. So if your formation wasn't tight like that, they just run you down and kill you with sabers. You were defenseless. The reason they stood in formations like that is because the wall of lead shooting out was more likely to hit something because of misfires and the quality, the kind of weapons that they were using. The only way they could hit one another reliably was by standing in those bulk formations. It took them a really long time to come up with even line firing, where the people in the front shoot, then kneel down and pack their weapon, and then stand up and shoot again. It took them a really long time to develop that because the soldiers were just regular people. People in McDonald's can't even manage. They can't figure out a McDonald's assembly line. It took 100 years of specialists to train people to not stand up when the row behind you is firing. So no, those soldiers were not soldier. They weren't soldier philosophies. Well, okay. Well, that, Christopher, is about two things. It's about public education, and it's about the definition of philosopher. If a philosopher is just an idiosyncratic thinker who also happens to be literate, then everybody's a philosopher on the internet. It depends on the depth of your definition. And again, just shortly after the Civil War, William James was going around interviewing people, and he wrote the essays, the varieties of religious experience. And what he found is that prolonged suffering and isolation make one have a religious experience. And today, we would say that a religious experience is an experience that leads one to an idiosyncratic philosophy. So yeah, but were they Socrates? No, not even a little bit. Were they thinking about the ethics of what they were doing? No, if they were thinking about the ethics of what they were doing, they were going to desert. If they deserted, they couldn't work in the economy, and they most certainly couldn't write as philosophers. Were they professional thinkers that affected the cultural milieu and the religious and governmental establishments of their time? Absolutely not. No, not the citizen soldier. No, absolutely not. The citizen soldier didn't even positively affect the world after World War II. They're just normal people. The greatest generation came home, got their GI bills, and then mistreated their children. There was no great philosophic golden age. What you had in the Civil War in America was a publicly educated, literate lower class because of movements among Protestant Christians earlier that century. The United States and the American colonies were the first places in the world to offer public education. So citizen soldiers could be educated. That's how the revolution was fought. Was that the citizen soldier and the levy were educated? They were basically literate. Good morning, Christian. And sure, there are letters home from World War I, World War II, where these people are writing at a highfalutin way, but that's because the people of those centuries and of those decades and of those wars, people considered writing a sacred art, so they wrote stylistically. We don't write the style that we write in popularly is leet speak. Not every meditation is Zen meditation, Tyrannosaurus. No, Tyrannosaurus, I'm Bodhisattva. I maintain that stillness at 85% of my day. Okay, Christian. Don't know why you're sorry. I reached nirvana in high school, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Um, the thing after is death. That's what I'm saying, Christopher. It depends on your definition of philosopher. So if people who have idiosyncratic thoughts and are willing to share them in writing are philosophers, then yeah, sure, the citizen soldier was a philosopher. But were they Socrates? 100% no. Not even a little bit. And were they trying to be philosophers? No. They were taking the skills that they were taught, and they were treating them with the respect and dignity they deserve. And anyway, what you're not going to write is a letter home that says, "Hey," you're going to write a letter. and you're going to try to make it beautiful and enjoyable to read. Why? Because you have the skill necessary. And the other reason why, because the person that's giving you the time to read that could read something good. Something I don't think people in the comments really appreciate very often, Christopher, and I'm not taking a shot at you in any way. You got to remember that in the 19th century, they didn't have television, movies, and radio to entertain themselves. They didn't have the internet to be entertained by. You write a letter because you want to capture their attention. And you write it well because you want them to read it multiple times. But were they philosophers? No. They didn't try to publish. They didn't go into politics. They didn't go into education. They were just writing back to their parents or their family or their loved ones or a friend or whatever. Hello, James. That's what I'm saying. It is fair to say that in general, the citizen soldier didn't go on to do these things in general. He asked me if every citizen soldier, every single professional soldier in the 18th century was a capable meditator and philosopher, and the answer is no. It's a Philalitheia stream, James. Philalitheia is a higher abstraction religiously and philosophically than philosophy. Yes, Tyrannosaurus, because at the same time, you could read other things. And so it was art. You made it look beautiful so so the person reading it could enjoy spending the time with something beautiful that you had made for them. Yeah. No, of course there were citizen soldiers who went on. Like, wasn't Hemingway a citizen soldier? Of course there were citizen soldiers in the 18th and 19th centuries and in the early 20th century who went on to be great artists and philosophers and thinkers. But was everybody in the foxhole? We're not even talking foxholes yet. We're talking about everybody in the shooting formation. Was everybody in the infantry a philosopher and capable thinker? No. They were just normal people like you and me. That was a vocation back in the day. So when you're thinking, I need to get a job, your options were, I'm going to work in a factory or I'm going to go fight in a foreign war. Those were your options. It was just a job to these people. So everybody that you see at McDonald's or Taco Bell or just working a gig, working any job, they're the same people who were in citizen soldiery back in the day. And then when you start talking about levies and drafts, now you're talking about people who don't have basic educations. Now you're talking about people who can't read, can't do basic math, who might not even speak the language of the people telling them how to not die. Yes, James. Yes, Chad. Probably not the same God as you, but sure. Yes. That's why they say that there are no atheists in a foxhole, is because these people they didn't go into the war deeply thought about these things. I answered you, Chad. I haven't seen Barry Lyndon, no. Old Redcoat, heard that? No, I haven't seen it, Tyranno. I'm going to be calling you Tyranno a lot, by the way. I can't tell if that's a basic smile or a disappointed. I can't actually see the mouth, so I hope that things are going. I hope you're having a good time. And I hope I'm not shouting at you, Christopher. I hope you don't think I'm shouting at you. I'm trying to be very firm and direct in my answers, and very specific in what I'm saying, not to boss anybody around, but because I don't know who's listening. I only know who's interacting with me. So I got to be very firm about what I'm saying. No, Chad, no, I don't. The Lord, no. Don't do things for free, Tejas. Okay. I also said that I directed it at you, Christopher, but On the off chance that you didn't need to hear me say that, I said that to anybody else who needed to hear me say that. I am not picking on you. I am not bullying you. I'm not calling you stupid. I might have called you stupid before, but I'm not calling you stupid. I'm just being very firm on the thing I said, because in the future, people are going to try to take the things I say out of context and spin them into reaction videos. So I just got to be belligerent sometimes. And sure, I know it makes me not like myself very much all the time. I know it's hard to get along with. That's a nice question, Toronto. Okay, I understand, Chris. We are good. So in the future, I'll just wait for people. I'll just wait for people, or for you to be like, all right, why are you coming at Chris so hard? Isn't he a producer? Isn't he like, shouldn't he be a friend? Shouldn't you go a little less hard at him? And it's like, I didn't mean to. I 100% believe you do. That's why I trust you to take it. Not to do anything for free. I answered it, Tirana. Do I dislike humans' way of thought? If I disliked the human way of thought, I would be in deep shit. Some say a man should have enemies. Yeah, man probably should have enemies. Well, I do, Christoph. Well, it wouldn't make me resentful. I'm a human. So if I don't like the way humans think, I don't like the way I think. And so if I don't like the way I think, that means that everything that I like and everything I think is suspect. So if I dislike something that I am, it means that my dislike is invalid as a commentary. It's just basic hypocrisy. Maybe, Christoph. I don't know if that's what resent is, James. That sounds like doubtful and skeptical. There's so many ways humans think. Yeah. The question you ask is, do I dislike the manner in which all humans think? And so that means the common denominator among all humans. No, that's just way too broad a question. The first step in changing how you think, James. Okay, but those aren't the only ways in which we think, James. Because if you can be greedy, you can be selfless, and if you can be biased, you can be critical, and if you can hate, you can not hate. For every negative interpretation, there's an equal and opposite positive interpretation that's also valid. A drink and a smoke? I've got snacks. I am smoking. I'm probably not going to have a cigarette. Sure. But James, light and dark, you got to remember that light and dark are a sliding scale with absolutes at either end. Where's the place where light and dark meet? Pendulums, for sure. Cycles. And I was getting him to think about just a contrast bar. No, I never watched True Detective. I've been fine, grateful. Thank you for asking, and hello, Mike. Every morning and evening, I have a twilight. Doing all right, LeBron. I was kind of anticipating that it being Friday tonight would be a little bit slower than it has been. It's been a little bit more intimate, but I'm doing all right. I'm tired. I haven't been sleeping long enough. I get 2 packs for $13, Shark. I don't know that life was ever easy, grateful. I'm right now. I'm listening to a history of Neanderthal anthropology. Not really anthropology at that point, but Neanderthal archaeology, and life wasn't easy for them either. James, you're not. You're, bud. You're about the shallowest. You're about as shallow as it gets. If you want to go deep, you're going to have to go a lot deeper than what you're going because you're not listening to the answers I'm giving you, and you're not questioning your questions. Bud. You're at the very, very shallowest end of this pool. I wouldn't say it's bad at all, Shark. I don't smoke but one or two a day, so 20 cigarettes gets me a month. 40 cigarettes gets me a month. I'm hanging out, creator. Seems like I got 10 or 11 people here hanging with me. A few of them are talking to me. People are asking me questions that I don't know if it's hard to effectively communicate through chat, James. That's what I was talking about earlier when we were talking about how there were people in the 18th and 19th century, citizen soldiers who wrote letters that sounded like philosophers. They weren't struggling to communicate. It's about mastery of the language. And so because you practice speaking ineffectively, you speak ineffectively. Whether you're communicating orally, written, sexually, however you're trying to communicate, you do it ineffectively because that's how you practice. You practice poorly, you play poorly. That's just how that goes. And so because you're not writing and listening to effective speakers and you're not practicing to speak effectively, you speak ineffectively whether you're in a chat or you're standing in front of a boardroom. You're just not a good communicator. It's not hard for all of us. Hello, Mr. Uncle. How are you? What have you thought about doing for me lately? I want you to fuck off. For sure, Shark. They're very expensive up north now. Well, whether you're using metaphors or analogies or not, James, um, the question you asked was articulated in such a way that I had to ask you many, many follow-ups just to get at what the clauses were meant to mean. I'm not going too hard at him. I was just, I hear you, uh, cycling back to a thing we were talking about. That the reason those people seemed like effective communicators is because they were listening to and they were reading effective communicators. They were just emulating the cultural milieu. They were emulating the way people communicated back in the day. And so you're emulating the way people communicate today, and that's very ineffectively, very poorly. I mean, James, you're the context. You were asking questions, and I was answering them, and now you're complaining that communication is difficult to do effectively, and so I'm engaging with what you're bringing to the table. Nuance is your generation's N word, X Sev. It's like James. For example, if you wanted to clear up your effective communication, you'd put a capital on that Y, you'd put a comma between that, or you put a comma after that S, and you'd put a period after that E. Like you just practice effective communication. You do it every time, no matter what the social context calls for. And then when you start thinking and planning out your clauses, because you know what grammar goes where and you know what grammar is difficult to read. I wish that I got it from a comedian. I don't know who the comedian is. He's very funny. And he opened a very funny series of bits with that nuances this generation's N word. I thought that was really good. And so I just say it all the time. So, James, when I was talking, yeah, you may not have been here for it, but I was talking about public education and what the United States has gifted the world vis-a-vis public education is by first grade, you have all of the skills of a professional scribe in any century before yours by first grade. For sure, Chris, but I don't let that stop me. It's about choice. And so what you're doing is you're asking me to give you a lot of slack. Like after a while, it's like, how much rope do you need? Just climb the fucking hill. Except you'd have to define intelligent because you're not using intelligence intelligently. On purpose, James. Before 1776, if you could read or write, you could convince people to just not do what the king or queen said to. So a bunch of people came to the Americas, and a guy got this idea to found Harvard. And then these other people got this idea. This other guy got this idea that what if we taught poor people to how to read so they could get jobs? And now McDonald's has to use pictograms to teach you how to make a sandwich because you don't know how to read. They taught you in first grade. You were 6 years old. The only difference between you and the people learning to read in the century before you is the people learning in the century before you were beaten until they demonstrated aptitude. You were tested, and those tests can be memorized. Yep, keep the peasants in their place. That's right. If the peasants can read the laws, they can argue with the laws. I'm not expecting. You, Xsev, are making a lot of assumptions without even asking the context of the, without even trying to seek the context of the conversation. You're just telling me what I'm doing without any investigation work whatsoever. And you're wrong. So I'm not expecting anything. It is your fault, James. Absolutely. I talk about this all the time. The only reason I am the way I am is because I was determined not to be the way you am from first grade on. When I saw people refusing to just learn math, I said, yeah, I'm not going to be like that. You can't just know what 3 times 3 is. You can't just figure that out. You can't just do the practice until you just get it. You can't do that. You, you're too busy what? Being a kid? What does that mean? Yes, James. Some? X? Do you think that's an excuse to not learn the things you need to learn to be a prepared adult? Or do you think it's a good excuse to live in a perpetual infantilizing fantasy, pretending that you're a child and that children are supposed to have some magic, perfect environment? You know that there are children in the world today who still have to avoid wild animals eating them on the regular because that's their home environment, right? You know, that some kids come home and wonder whether there's going to be food on the table because what if nobody was able to find anything to hunt? For sure, James. Why do you expect people to do anything, Sev? Who are you? And what does your expectation mean to anybody but you? What does your expectation mean to anyone but you? And you're not engaging with the question. You're just typing. Like you're typing and then you're typing. You're thinking and then you're thinking and then you're thinking and then you're thinking. Effective communication isn't difficult. It just requires that you shut the fuck up. And then communication is easy. What do you mean these days, James? Again, I'm listening to a book about Neanderthal archaeology, and do you think that Neanderthal babies were raised in Rapunzel princess towers? What do you mean this world drops you on your ass these days? What are you talking about? You think that babies born in Africa with AIDS and no food coming and no milk in the breast are what? What are you talking about? You think they got it better than you do? Better than you did? What are you talking about, James? Just 100 years ago, children had to leave public education or couldn't even get public education. They couldn't go to kindergarten because they had to go work in a factory. Yeah, this world coddles you, James. You are the way you are because you're weak, because you've never been tested, because you've never been taken away from mommy's breast. I really don't know what you're talking about. There are laws in place to make sure that people under the age of 18 aren't working and aren't being used in ways that deliberately jeopardize their futures, because before those laws that happened every day. What do you mean drops you on your ass? There are kids in this world in the United States today who have to go work for mom and dad after school in first grade. So was mine, James. My mother used to turn tricks for meth money in the parking lot at Walmart when I was in high school. I didn't spend a day in lockup. I spent 2 nights in lockup, but that was from, no, I did not. I'm homeless, Sev. How do you think I came from a supportive family? I'm homeless. My parents used to beat the ever-living fuck out of me. What are you talking about? My parents seem supportive. I'm homeless, and neither one of them has bothered to communicate with me in months. No, it's extremely easy for me to tell you shallow, James, when this is the depth of your engagement. Why is it your bad? What did you do wrong, Disco? What did you do to harm who? Me? Why? Why and how? And then how are you going to recompensate for me for it? I don't think you guys understand that a sorry isn't a recompense. Stop talking about how deep you are, James. Stop saying that you're too deep relative to me. That's how you should engage, with humility and grace. A little bit, just like a little bit of dignity. Like act like you had a dad. I don't care, Paul. And before you give me the blah 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 blah, what I said is act. I'm sure you've seen what it's like to have a dad on TV. Just pretend like you do. Behave as though you did. Act like what you might imagine it would be like. No, you know that now, but you accused me of having not gone through things because you think you are going through it harder than anybody else. You haven't gone through anything. You're weak and soft. Pudgy. Okay. Bored with that. Sure. But the depth of that shit is relative to the people, Paul. But it is comparable. So, I mean, I can say things that are just truisms too. No, the grass is definitely greener. Well, James, an idiot is someone who speaks without knowledge. You said that I seemed to you like somebody who had supportive parents. That's the kind of thing an idiot would say. That's acting as though you have special knowledge and then speaking on it. That is definitionally what an idiot would do, making you an idiot in that moment. So are you not an idiot? Or are you temperamentally an idiot who believes that he's not? Yeah, you did. I didn't accuse him of never going through anything. I said he's soft and weak. He hasn't lived the life he thinks he has. He has this internal narrative that he's some ex-convict superhero. He's gonna turn out to be the next ex-convict turned billionaire, and that just doesn't happen. I bet he did, you two. That's what drill instructors are paid to do. No, I'm not assuming you said that. I remember you saying that, James. I don't disagree always. Because he told me about it without. He told me that he spent 7 years in prison. He hasn't lived through anything. And then he made a facile argument about some people being allowed to be given a pass for not paying attention in first grade because they came home to their parents yelling. I came home to being raped. Didn't stop me. No, it's really not anything. Not developmentally. I am ashamed of nothing. What is there to be ashamed for? Never harmed anyone. I've never done anything that deserved the recompense of civilization itself. I'm not an objective arbiter, but I am objective. I don't know what I'm arbitrating. Indeed, TX, thank you. I know that, James, but you took both sides of the argument there. Hey, Eric, what's up? And if it wasn't you, then you can identify who said the thing that I'm saying, and I can be like, oh, whatever, moving on. Stop arguing both sides of this. Hey, FIFA. I mean, FIFA. Hey, Rachie, what's up, baby? I am indeed the Humpty Dumper. No, most convicts learn how to be criminals. The only thing they learn is how to beg for. All they know how to do is beg and plead to an audience, a room full of people they don't know, for sympathy for things they didn't go through. They know how to act like a lawyer. Prison and jail they're called penitentiaries because they're supposed to teach you to be penitent and to rehabilitate you by giving you job skills. Effect, not affect. This is the affect of my hair. That it is standing up is the effect of my homelessness. The affect is the way it looks. The effect is the way it is. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you, buddy. The effect is what has happened. You can grow without help and love. I have grown plenty with neither help nor love. Well, you two, I've already talked about how we are what we practice. I've already talked about how the way we speak in text is indicative of the standard to which we hold ourselves in daily life. And so you think that I'm not going to hold you to the standard of a literate and educated person, but what you fail to understand is I could be reading good writing. Instead, I'm reading you. And so what I'm going to do is bitch about it. No, they're the same. It's still your brain without... Still your brain, dumbass. I don't know how many times you guys think you get to contradict me, but it's an arbitrary number less than 2. What up, Poppy? How you doing? I don't know why you guys come around to me and want to contradict me. I don't know why you think you're as smart as I am, let alone smarter than I am. I spent 7 years in prison. Okay, talk to somebody else. I am at such a higher plane of intellect than yours. You are never going to do anything but be insecure around me. Go away. Indeed, Seth, I used to call myself that. Heard that, Poppy. You and me both, buddy. Party time. Excellent. No, not for someone who's actually literate, you two. You clearly have never read anything. Rolos are top tier. Freeze them. You gotta try a frozen Rolo, man. It's the move. They disappear with me. I don't let them melt. But you can. That crunchy chocolate and that hard caramel is so nice. I have evidence, James. I'm not assuming. I'm demonstrating. You already agreed that you have a first grade education. That's why you don't carry them in your pocket, Gigi. We adjust to our mistakes. Good things indeed, Bradley. From you, or you just know somebody? Chocolate fudge rounds. Oh, the cookies? Like Keebler cookies? Eric, is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about the Little Deborah fudge rounds? As mine? Yep. You two, my father would say garbage in, garbage out. But you got a shit for brains. Sure, you can recite. But because you got shit for brains, everything you put in it comes out as more shit. That's what my dad would have said about me if I said that. So I can't figure out 2 plus 3. I can memorize it if you told me, but I can't figure it out on my own. Yeah, because you got shit for brains. He didn't abandon me. All right, James, and you're welcome to fuck off. Goodbye. Yeah, I'm willing to quote my father. Oh, Horde Night was awesome. I told you that I hadn't seen the boys that have bombs in their chest, and one blew up my balcony. He took my fucking auto shotgun with him. I just watch it sadly fall off the thing. Oh, man. He fucking creepered right in the middle of my base. Bubba! Fucker. It was awesome. It was awesome. I can consider it. I'm not going to. I'm neither going to consider it nor am I going to bring him back. The effort required is not worth it for that. Pew. Calling someone rude is rude. Goodbye. I criticize people for things I'm doing. Goodbye. I'm in Ohio. We're not friends, Bradley, but I'm in Ohio. Laces out, Dan. Laces out. And Dan Marino can die or die of gonorrhea and rot in hell. That's what she says. Dan Marino can die of gonorrhea and rot in hell. Your gun is digging into my hip, homie Joe. There seems to be something wrong with the pate. Hello, Blurg Hermit. What up? Hey, you said something funny, homie. You made a clever reference to the fact that I kind of look like Jim Carrey. That's the way to do it. I will always fire back if you're trying to be clever and you're not saying, "Hey, you look like Jim Carrey in that movie." Say a line from the movie and I'll give you what you want. I'll say a line from the movie and you can know whether I look like him or not. You can even see whether I'm willing to make the faces and I'm not. It's not about you. I've talked about this a lot. It's about that's Jim Carrey's thing. Yeah, that's the way to do it, homie. I value your contribution. That's his thing. His faces are his thing, so I never learned how to do it because my face is similar enough to his, and when I was young it was really similar enough to his that people ask me for it all the time. Yeah, Tyrannosaurus. I'm not convinced. I'm not unconvinced that Ohio isn't the confluence of 4 mountains. Yeah, Ohio is beautiful. Oh, did Chris say he's leaving and I didn't catch it? Hey, take care, Chris. I did not catch it. I didn't catch a few of the things you guys say. You stay warm too, WS. Thank you. Take care, Chris. Have a good night, bud. Hipster Dwight Schrute. I'll take it. I don't see it. I don't have a I can see it around the eyes and the cheeks, especially with the glasses and the shadows. And the hipster was a good catch. Oh, you been to Serpent Mound? That's cool. I've never been there. My favorite childhood memory, um, getting Terra back in Final Fantasy VI. I had a really bad childhood. Oh, understood, Torettus. Choice. Nice. Rage. Nice. Noise. I got the hair of a wise man. I got the hair of a man who just washed his hair tonight. And so it's just going to do this now. Not a big deal, Poppy. It's neither here nor there. The power behind it, yeah. I'm surprised that nobody's called me the guy from Home Alone, the tall one. Heard that. I don't know about that, Tyrannosaurus. I couldn't speak to that. My impression of Ohio is that they believe that they're nice, so they're not as nice as they could be. Yeah, Gohan. Yeah, yeah, young adult Gohan. The hair is right for it. I called myself Vegeta earlier when he cuts his hair for Bulma. Whew, my gloves are cold. Doesn't Gohan's hangs down in the front? I would have to get one of these. This one does it naturally if I let it. I'd have to get this one to hang down like that to be Gohan. It'd have to look like that. Actually, that's not bad. No, I haven't gotten any. We haven't gotten any more snow. It sleeted. There was a little bit of ice a couple of nights ago, but no more snow. It hasn't really melted either though. Silent like a thundercat. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Ho! What'd you call me? Hey, take care, James. You guys are silly. I was about to say, Rach, I thought you were asleep. I know you said you were just coming back for something. I'm not telling you to go to bed. But it is going to be difficult for me to disengage from this if you and Eric are both still out there. I didn't say that I see it. I said I'm surprised nobody's called me the Home Alone guy, Hennifer. My brother liked the Thundercats. I liked the adult female Thundercat, and I didn't really pay attention to anything else. I was locked on. I locked in when she was on the screen, though. Wow. There he is. Chitara, yeah, sure. Whatever. My brother liked that show. I was caught in that weird limbo where I was too young to have seen it in the 80s and I was too old for it when it was back on TV on Oh, give me a second. I'm not going to get it. Cartoon Network had that anime that anime block. I can't remember what it's called. Hey Glockster, I'm doing great. How are you? Yeah, Chitara, I think that's who we're talking about, Poppy. No, bless you too, Hennifer. Was it Toonami? Is that what it was called? Ugh. I tuned in for Dragon Ball Z, and my brother liked to watch. He liked to watch Sailor Moon and Thundercats. Heard that, Tyrannus. Thank you, Hennifer. And hello, Shepherd's Chapel. I I was trying to demonstrate that I wasn't just making this up to uh, have a good excuse for not having Thundercats knowledge. But I tuned out. I was in the living room with my younger brother, but I tuned all the way out. I could see that it was reruns, and so I just shut it off in my brain. Not proud of that. Now I wish because it was on every day after school for 1 year of our lives. But I blocked it out entirely. I found other shit to do. Who even remembers what, right? Thank you for the hearts, guys. You're very precious. I prefer this to humble bragging convicts. I really do. Thank you. I want to take you all equally seriously, but there's also a sliding scale to which you can treat people more seriously than what they deserve, and they will take advantage of that and embarrass you in public for it, like Jeremy. Okay. Well, Marty, as far as butter, yeah, I was kind of gonna ask you that read depth. Um, your metaphor isn't a bad one, but I would ask you to think about your metaphor. What's the bread? What's the butter? And what are you doing with it? And are you saying that sharing it with other people is like bread spread too thin, or butter spread too thin across bread? Again, what's the bread, and how delicious is the bread we're talking? Like, is butter spread too thick across it going to detract from the quality of the bread? What's the bread? And amazing, I would definitely amazing, like relative to what, and why is it making you go? Because mazed means to it mazed, amazing is from the labyrinth of Theseus fame. So why do you have a labyrinthine broad knowledge, but it's also ankle high walls everywhere you go? What does that mean? You're escaping with it? You're certainly trying to escape the uh, labyrinth of the question. Some people, I hope that if I ignore them, they'll just go away. Well, no, there weren't options within the question. I said, what is the bread and what is the butter? Instead of typing when I'm talking directly to you, Have the respect of listening to me, since I have no choice but to read your thing with comprehension in order to respond to it. Why do you assume I have plenty? What does plenty mean to you, Douglas? You say, how do I have plenty of electricity? What does plenty mean to you, and why do you assume that I have more than what I need? Kind of like bread and butter. What's the bread and what's the butter? Uh, I'm still finishing the Three Princes of Serendip, Justin. Hey, Jamie, what's up? Okay, well, just move on from that. And then we'll just start headshotting people that want to engage with it. I don't get the metaphor, Marty. I tried. But again, you treat everybody with equal seriousness, and some people you just end up giving more than they deserve. No, I don't feel to the American West. The American West is full of Californians, Tyrannosaurus. I feel no pull to be where Californians are. Uh, you guys asked the question, like, Raw Shorty, am I in the middle of like a prepared presentation here? Like, what do you think the word about means? You all do it. So many people ask me that exact question, and then I ask them if that's the question they're trying to ask me, and it's never the question you're asking. What's this about? Doesn't mean what you're asking. What's it about? What's a book about? Do you want me to summarize 2 hours? Oh, I'm sure it's beautiful, Tyrannosaurus. I just don't want to be around the people who live there. No, you asked me if I feel the pull. No, no, I don't feel the pull. I want to be back in the North Carolina mountains. That's where I want to be. I'm sure I can, AKQ. No, Shorty. No. I say I want to be in the mountains of North Carolina, but I think small because I don't have a passport. I actually want to be in the Alps. I want to be in the Ligurian Alps. That's where I want to be. That's the pull I feel. I want to be in the Rigi. That's what I want. That's the pull I feel. I don't know about that, Jason. Wait, not you. You're the wrong Jamie, Jamie. Probably somebody beautiful at the Alps. I don't know what that means, Rachie. Well, I wasn't going to AKQ, but then you told me to, and so now I guess I have to. I don't remember calling somebody a troll, Jamie, but you're not the only person with that name. The other ones might just be muted forever. There you go. Yeah, it is beautiful in the Alps. Heard that, Tyrannosaurus. I don't know that I've ever been on Grandfather Mountain, but that's cool. I'm sure it was scary being on a mountain that's you're on a road that's not designed for the vehicle you're using. It's got to be terrifying when it's that of that size, that scale. I turned that shit off, Rach. I hold myself to the standard of spelling the words I mean and accepting the mistakes that I make. For sure, Justin. That thing you just said, though, the whole I'm in California and I want to be not in California is why I said the whole western half of the U.S. has Californians in it. Every one of you says that shit. And then you go and fuck up the local economies of places like Wyoming. Heard that, Tyrannosaurus. You never even considered, and now you don't know why. Sick of these damn Californians. That's what they all say, but thugs. The last of the Mohicans. I hear you, Tyrannosaurus. The only thing I know for certain, from personal experience is that Californians have an absolutely undeserved sense of self worth. New Yorkers aren't better. Sorry, Rachie, you weren't born in New York. You don't count for this. Now, there is an open question. Hey, I'm walking here. There is an open question of whether I'm teasing or whether I mean what I'm saying. Because I could be entirely joking and the affect would be entirely the same. I would say something I don't mean with the exact same self-seriousness of something I do mean, and I would expect the people who get me and get the channel and like my content to laugh and not tell the people that don't get it that they're laughing. Heard that, Tyrannosaurus. I don't know what that means, but the detours going on sounds like just a focus and paying attention nightmare. You bet wrong, KC. What do I win? Actually, somebody asked me if I was going to have a cigarette tonight, and I shouldn't. It's fucking cold out there. I just got warm again, but I want a cigarette. I'm an addict. Don't start. Really, just don't. Don't start. I was like, here, let me open this door now that I've got it toasty in here. I'm comfortable and warm. I should have a cigarette. placing wagers and being wrong twice and still not saying what I win. So double or nothing, you were still wrong. What do I get? Yeah. Casey Charleston is obviously Gen X. He thinks he's somebody. It's probably a Californian. Completely undeserved sense of self-worth. Never done anything for himself or for anybody that was worth a damn, and he's going to go around trying to denigrate other people because he's got a little tiny micro penis and doesn't even know how to use that. K.C. Charleston, 100% Gen X. The last time he thought he was cool was 1989. So anyway, I had a feeling this was going to happen tonight. That's why I didn't read, and that's why I didn't do 7 days. I just had a feeling Friday night is going to be a little bit different. I'm feeling a little bit different emotionally. I had a feeling it was going to be a little bit more combative. And if it remains combative for, I don't know, 9 more minutes, I'm going to find something else to do. My back is starting to hurt like a motherfucker. I need to get more than 5 hours of sleep someday here in the future. I have not been sleeping worth a damn. Because of the snow, it's so fucking bright. I wake up and it's bright. And I'm like, oh shit, it's probably like 3 o'clock. And then I grab my phone and it's like 11. And I'm like, well, I'm awake. Fuck. And that's nobody's fault but my own. It's just bad sleeping habits that I'm working on. The British picked it up. What, chewing on Charleston's ass? No, I'm very high, Miles. I'm a little bored. That's what I'm telling you, Marty. The chat is aggressively negative, and I'm bored arguing boring, dumb shit with boring, dumb people. So I'm not saying specifically that you or anyone listening being cool is boring me. But the questions I was getting that were interesting and that I was trying to engage with, and the people that I was trying to take seriously, proved to be investments of my time that did not pay out in return on that investment. I don't know why you need to be sorry, Square. You could just do the opposite of what I'm talking about. Just bring positive. Sure, Tyrannosaurus. If it's untreated, what you probably mean is that you lack the ability to focus in a way that you would prefer to have. But we can call that idiomatically having ADHD. It does trivialize the struggles of people who have gone through the effort and the soul searching and the serious stigma of getting a diagnosis, though. Nah, thank you, Poppy. It's always good hanging out with you. I wish I were sorry to hear that, Dougie. I don't know you, so I don't know that I care. If your name were in blue and you said that, I might be like, oh shit, I need to repair this relationship. But I don't know that I give a shit. Heard that, Tyrannosaurus. Do you want to talk about it, Dougie, or are you just stating facts? Like, did you bring it up because you want me to apologize? Or you just want to bring it to my attention? Well, when you're a Patreon subscriber, like the rest of the mods, you will be mod, Dougie. But until then, like I said about using other people's diagnoses artistically, it devalues the people who are Patreon producers of the stream and of the channel. I don't know what that means, Dougie. Make a accepting friend. I don't know what that means. I don't speak stupid. I try, but the Santa emojis have you dead, Rachel? That's funny. I'm not sure which one of us you think is unaccepting, Dougie. What do you think acceptance means in this situation, Dougie? And what do you think I'm doing? If not accepting that you think you have something important to say to me. It's just a non sequitur response. It's not an answer to the question. The hard part of communication is not using your fucking thumbs when someone's talking to you. You're definitely not cool. Hey, Rach, can you snipe that, please? Anyway, 2.5 minutes, and then I'm going to probably roll over and try to get some sleep. And I say that, but what I mean is I'm probably just going to do something that's not boring me. I don't remember anymore, Dougie, but you've been headshot anyway, so it's all good. Thank you, Rach. She's been playing 7 Days to Die, so her aim is pretty good. No, she's not good at I said 7 Days to Die. I meant Red Dead Redemption. that their Freudian slip was an actual Freudian slip. I just said the thing that I'm thinking about instead of the thing I meant. And I wouldn't even have noticed under normal circumstances, but I heard myself say it, and I thought, 7 Days to Die, 7 Days to Die. Wait a minute, 7 Days to Die, 7 Days to Die. It echoed through my head about 4 or 5 times. You almost bought it? It's so much fun, Rachie. It's so much fun. And I don't think I would have as much fun if I weren't on 4 times experience. I think if the experience were any slower, I wouldn't get enough points. I wouldn't get enough points to keep me wanting to do shit during the day. So I'm just gonna have to experiment with. I'm gonna have to experiment with an intelligence and a scavenging build. Get me as much experience from looting and harvesting and running the hell away from zombies as I can get. But only almost. I hear you. And I should be modding all of my armor, but I never do. I'm the worst. Hey, I would like to thank there were 12 of you. I'd like to thank the 11 of you who are here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for riding through the wave of people trying to fuck up our Fridays. Our collective Friday, that is. That was the end. Thank you. I didn't have a second part to that. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm not gonna be marathoning this tonight. I opened by explaining, and so for those of you who don't join the rewatch squad or the replay squad or whatever the fuck, um, Rach isn't waking up at 4 a.m., so I don't need to keep myself busy before bed. I can just go to bed if I thus choose, or I can do something else with my time. I wanted to check in and make sure that I got a chance to say hello to Christopher and Lenny. If I see Lenny around, I'd really like that. I got to say hi to Eric. Um, with any luck, my guy Mr. S has the night off. I hope he's good. I might have hurt his feelings yesterday. Um, I feel like I'm missing somebody. If I'm missing you, I am deeply sorry. Uh, let's see if we can't get some more traffic in the Discord. I'd like it if Eric and Lenny had more people to keep them company. Otherwise, I know you're there, buddy. If you say so, Marty. I don't know how you you'd me, but you know, it's whatever. Seven days is fun. I find it deeply engaging. I got stuck in the fucking hospital. I couldn't get out of the fucking hospital. And so I took the quest fairly late in the day, and I'm running around the hospital, and then it's 10 o'clock, so the zombies are all feral, and I'm running around, and I finally get out of the hospital at fucking like 8 a.m. I've been running around in this hospital for 14 fucking hours. Finally get out of this fucking hospital. I go back to Rect, and I turn around and I go off to do the next quest, and I look up at the clock, and I'm like, it's 10 fucking a.m. Fucking stop, save. Thank you, Tyrannosaurus. I love that. Welcome to the Shagonauts. You now have access to all of the material I make, as far as my video games, for like another 2 weeks. There's videos that are still members only. So thank you. Welcome. No, no, it's not, Eric. It's a thinking man's game. You'd have to turn the difficulty down pretty significantly from where I am to just kind of bumble your way through it. Yeah, Eric, I've been watching this game for a decade. I've watched this game develop, and from Alpha 16 on, by watching the Neebs guys play it for the last decade, man. I have wanted to play this game uh, since the first time I heard about it. Um, I love voxel games, and this and Minecraft are the only two I know of. You don't understand, Eric. I walked down into my mine under the house today, and it was my happy place. I walked down there, and I just went to work, and I forgot everything that I've ever been upset about. That's because it was a mod, from the same game that Rust was. They're both developed out of Rust, and 7 Days are both developed from Arma. Yeah. 7 Days is basically Minecraft with an RPG system over top of it and a photorealistic skin. And instead of being blocks, rectangle or square blocks, cubes, it's hexagons, whatever those are called, 6-sided polygons. Yeah, it's great. I love it, man. I could play it 12 hours a day. I have to find a way to monetize my time, though, if I'm gonna game like that. The only reason I can afford to game like I do is because of Rach and the members, because of the Patreon subs, but really because of Rach's direct involvement. I wouldn't have the time. We would make a deadly squad because, to begin with, I would keep your asses alive. I would let you build on my core structure. All right, you figure out what you're going to do, but I'm going to build this core structure they can't get through. They finally got into the indestructible wall, and it was the one wall that I left destructible, so I knew where to look for them. I'm a badass at this at the difficulty level I'm playing, Raichi. A total badass. I love it. I don't think I'm better than anybody, anybody yet. But at the difficulty level I'm playing, the character I've made is just awesome. He could be better too, is the thing. I could be a lot more deadly. But I want the zombies to be able to compete with me. I leave myself weak, so I have an idea of what it's gonna be like if I get overwhelmed. I know how long it's gonna take me to die, because glass cannons die really fast. I hear you, Eric. So I haven't built a glass cannon. But yeah, I'm having a really good time, and I'm really glad that you guys let me talk about it. It was really fun sharing it with you last night. The only reason I didn't share it with you last night is it hurts my left leg real bad, to balance you on it like that. It's been hurting all day. Thank you, Tyrannosaurus. Thank you guys. It's humbling. It really is. Hitting that $100 a month payout mark on YouTube, so I can know that I've got $100 a month coming from there and $100 a month coming from Patreon, and you can start to really budget a life around $200 a month. Not yeah, I think you might be able to make your stun rod. They have that stun baton build, FIFA, Rach. They have that stun baton build that I keep talking about, and the stun baton, you can get it to where it's always electrified, and you can get it. I just got a book. I found a book that allows the stun rod. I don't have a stun rod. I'm collecting these things so I know what's in the game, um, so I can make builds and know what to look for. But you can make it to where your stun rod, whenever you hit anything with it while it's charged, it discharges to everything around them. So you can just be permanently doing electrified AOE damage with these stun rods, and you might be able to put the flaming mod on it, so you can do fire and electricity AOE damage. Yeah, the intellect build is the one I wanted to build originally. You know that because you're watching that season when I was still playing an int build, and the int build looks fucking sweet. It looks fucking cool. Yeah, barbed wire. You can make barbed wire fences and stuff. Um, but I don't know how yet. I don't know how to do all that stuff. So I'm just taking it real slow. Yeah, the SMGs too. Yeah, get you the machine gun build is the machine gun build is the fortitude build. So while you use a machine gun and you have an insane amount of health and stamina, so you can just all day fucking long, and stuff can get up on top of you and hit you and hurt you, and you don't even have to worry about it. Yeah, that's I'm gonna transition toward that eventually. Yeah, yeah, you can be a tank who also has a machine gun. Yeah, the strength build has the sledgehammer. You don't have to use a sledgehammer if you want to play a legit tank where you're letting them hit you and you're just standing in it and just going fucking ham on them. That's you just go straight down the fortitude build. Your joke is 10 years out of date. Why not? Yeah, the game makes so much sense though, Rach. Like think about that. That's what machine gunners. That's what my dad did in the army. They carry those big heavy weapons, and you got to have the stamina to carry all that ammo. So it makes sense that the machine gun is in the fortitude build and not in, say, the agility build. Agility has pistols. That makes sense. This is what I'm advocating for, how awesome this game is to anybody who likes deep RPG systems. This game's going to keep me coming back once it begins to procedurally generate, just for the RPG system, just for the character development. Oh, and Raichi, I did two things in the most recent episode.
that you'll think are very cool, but I'm not going to talk about them on this live. I did two things that you think are very cool, and I yeah, the seriously, why not? The I love RPG systems, and 7 Days to Die has a very deep and rewarding RPG system, very deep character development system, deep and balanced. I love it. I love it. I sit and sometimes I just look at it. I wouldn't say that it has the deepest, but I don't know if there are like legendary weapons that I haven't seen. I wouldn't say that it has a super deep and rewarding like weapon system. Like there are a lot of weapons in the game to get, but I don't think it's not really a Diablo alike yet. Like the goal isn't really to get your SMG that has a 0.01% DPS improvement over the SMG you've got. You've got a level 6 SMG, and that's the best SMG, like that kind of thing, and tons of mods. Well, I wouldn't say lots of mods. Sorry, Tricky. You're talking about Eric and Rach, and two people. I wouldn't say is a lot. How do I do what, Sensei? All right, and you guys engaged my Midwest goodbye for 20 minutes. The consistency, Tricky. You're mad about 2 days ago. It happens. Did I block you, Tricky? I might have muted you for half an hour because you were trying to annoy me. But if I had blocked you, you wouldn't be here now. Whether I remembered it, Tricky, or not, I know my behavior. Thank you, Angry Chicken. Yeah, that's probably what happened, Tricky. Is I knew you were drinking, and so I just turned you off for half an hour. Okay, little Niffer. What if I think I'm better than you because I don't watch TV and movies? You might have been Tricky. I don't remember. Where am I from? Are you asking me where I was born or where I'm broadcasting from, Anisha? I don't know, Tricky. I think that if I really tried to pin you down on that, you would say that there are people who are hierarchically better than other people. Well, I didn't necessarily think it, I didn't say it makes me better. I just used it as an example of how I am just categorically better. Okay, well, talk to JG Wentworth, the lake. You love the Carolinas? Heard that, Tyrannosaurus. It's just where I grew up. Maybe. Tricky, but you'd have to tell me how it doesn't make me categorically better if the category is not watching TV and movies. So if the category is abstinence from TV and movies, and I abstain from TV and movies, I am categorically better than you at abstaining from TV and movies. And so I think that if I really pinned you to it, you would agree that there are people who are categorically better than other people. I think if we were talking about the category of running a mile, you would agree that there are people who are categorically better at running a mile than other people. Categorically is not a fancy word. Category is not a fancy word. I just used two examples. No, I wouldn't say that I am like Trump. I would say that Trump was a billionaire and raised rich, and that Trump and I have entirely different life experiences and perceptions. And so, no, I wouldn't say that I'm like Trump. I don't know that I can answer that, Allison. I don't know you. I gave you examples. Yes, Tricky. Yes, I'm a more effective communicator than you are, Tricky. I don't understand what you're saying. Well, Niffer, you're not annoying. We're not dueling. In order for us to duel, first of all, we would have to be equals, and then second, you would have had to have sent your second to my second, and I don't have a second. We're not dueling. You're not even competing. I'm the 1987 Bears, and you're any offense. Am I an outside boy? I don't know what that means. Yeah, Tricky's feeling himself. 2000 Ravens defense. I will never recognize that the Ravens exist as a franchise unless they're losing because Lamar Jackson can't beat cover zero. Oh, Daniel. What about grilled cheese? You went to private school, Tricky? Okay, well, whoever outside boy is, Doug would like you to like the stream. Thank you for having done that. All the outside boys like the stream. I don't know anymore, Ben. What are you whatting? I'm sure you didn't know anybody like me, Tricky. But there are thousands of us, millions evil, people who look like me, walk like me, talk, dress, and act just like me. They might just be, or they might look like me, but there's only one me. I am Slim Shady. Oh, I am the real Slim Shady, Ben. No, I don't live outside. Well, maybe they are. Maybe the way they were taught to view the world, Little Niffer, is that categorically watching television and movies makes you a lesser good person. I'm glad you like my confidence, Tricky. I don't know when I ever said I was 100. I'm 38. I don't remember claiming to be 100. And if you were to try to tell me you're not 100, I would say, I know, I'm 38. I'm rarely wrong. Well, okay, what's wild to me, Lil Niffer, is that you think you get to give them permission. July, Ben. What does it matter? You would prefer to be called online than Doug? I'll never remember that, Doug. Doug's in the first word I'm going to read every time I see your profile. You don't pay me enough money to give you a nickname. Hey, Debbie. Why, Lil Niffer? What if they do know better? And what wait? I don't know what you're talking about anymore, Ben. What does and what doesn't what? Okay. Well, what are you? Again, categories. It's tricky. Smart at what? Are these people engineers? I am, Sky. I'm talking to you. Then it wouldn't be nothing anymore, Ben. Thank you, Tyrannosaurus. Okay. They're a better lawyer and doctor. Okay, online. Okay. Tricky. I don't understand what the point you're trying to make. Nothing's new, Debbie. What do you Where do you think we are? Well, what are you doing, Lil Niffer? What are you what would you describe what you're doing? I don't know you. You just showed up and you're arguing with me. What do you think the sake of your argument is? We're not equal, Tricky. Sorry to hear that, Trip. Well, sure, but you are arguing. You are establishing an argument. You're defending your argument, and you're doing it to me. So how are you different from them, Lil Niffer? If you're superior to me, I can't imagine a way in which that might be true, Tricky. Hello, Hungry. It's nice to make your acquaintance. No, Ben, we are not all equal. Some of us type out all of the words we use when we speak in text. Okay, the names that you guys are asking me to refer to you are getting absurd. Tricky, I am not referring to you as sorry my imagination is weak. I'm just not referring to you as that. In Ohio, Debbie. Hello, Dad. He corrected himself after I read it with the correction. That shit's annoying. Thundercats. Oh. Where's Eric? You and Eric with the Yeah, I know, Lil Niffer. So why is this happening to me? And what do you think you're doing that's different from what they did? Am I your fucking therapist? What the fuck do you think, John? Eric's gonna start talking about Bob Dole. We got the Thundercats and Bob Dole. You guys are adorable and I love you. I'm not making fun. And I saw you, Rachie. I don't know what that means, Tricky. I've never once been rewarded by looking at those messages that are held for review, so I'm just not gonna. Well rehearsed at what? If you're gonna attack my ignorance, you should like use full sentences so I can comprehend what you're insulting me about. Well, if there were a topic, Harold, wouldn't you have been able to pick it up in the time that you typed that out in? Yes, online, I am superior. God damn it. I'm not calling you lost. I'm just not calling you lost, Lil Niffer. I'm having enough trouble keeping your attention. You just showed up and started talking to me about something, and then you started saying that he's not better than me. I'm better than him, and I'm going to demonstrate it by doing the thing that he did that upset me to you, random stranger. Lil Niffer, you're being a fucking hypocrite. The thing that you don't like that he's doing, that you think you're perceiving him doing to you, you're doing to me. Go away. I'm not your therapist. We're not even friends. We're not even acquainted. You didn't even fucking introduce yourself. Why does It's Tricky think he's debating me? Tricky, nobody came here to watch your argument. Yeah, I know, but why do you want to debate with me? No one came here to watch your argument. You are not also on a screen. No one is here to watch you. Why do you think we're debating? I've been drunken judo mastering you all over the stage for 15 or 20 minutes now. Who do you think you are? I don't want to debate you. I want to kick you in the ass and send you sprawling onto the floor. We're not equals. You're not dueling me. I'm increasingly agitated, Big J. How are you? Fine, as far as being warm. Am I? I'm not debating. I don't know who the fuck you people think you are that you get to debate me. You're not smart enough to debate me. And one has to consent to a debate. So if you're going to debate me and I'm saying no and you're going to do it anyway, you understand that's rape. I don't have an opinion and I haven't shared an opinion. I haven't shared an opinion, Harold. I'm not in a debate. This isn't a I'm going to fuck off, William. This isn't an I'm going to say things that you're going to find objectionable show. Come debate me. It's not what I'm doing. Jay, I'm in a tent. Well, Peeprus, I've also been raped, and you can go fuck yourself. Consent to that. There's no debate. We haven't debated once, Ben. You don't respond to my follow-up questions. There aren't different forms of intellectual being, Tricky. There is one form of intellectual being, the human. Everything you say is wrong, but you think you're debating me. You think that you need to speak to me, like you need to say, and then you say false. Fuck off. Just go away. Well, you were a jerk, William. Go away. Fuck yourself. Hard. Deep. Sometimes conversations feel like debates because either you're a stupid and insecure person, Brad, or the person you're talking to is having a debate with you without your consent. I could be wrong, but I'm not, Zachary. You could be wrong. Debates are not conversations. Goodbye. Otherwise, they would have the same word. Goodbye. I hate arguing too. I don't know who these fucking people think they are. I don't know, Zachary. Whatever dumb thing you just said. Right now, my increasing agitation with that specific question, Beams. I am, Peeprus. If there are, I don't know about him, Tyrannosaurus. I didn't know it was the 1860s. Okay, Jordan Peterson. Goodbye. Okay, you could catch up by scrolling backwards, Zachary. Beam's alternative to asking the specific question, what is happening here, is silence. Yes, that's correct, Beams. You walk into a social environment that's unfamiliar to you, announcing yourself and asking the entire social environment to stop what it's doing to address you. Yeah, silence is preferable to that. If that's your binary, choose silence every time. Every time. 100% of the time. Contribute when you have something to contribute. Speak when you have something to offer. A wise man keeps his mouth shut when he has nothing to contribute. What's the yellow lighter mean? Take care, Brad. Well, I did say, Jack, that I'm increasingly agitated. What does that have to do with any conversation, though, Zachary? That's not something to contribute or offer to any conversation, especially with strangers. I always use white lighters. Or I strip the plastic off them. I strip the wrapper off them, just down to the lighter. You want to ease there, Big J. Are you a referee, Zachary? Are we playing baseball? Who do you guys think you are? I mean, you still called it a fair ball. I'm just trying to figure out, like, do you think you're refereeing me? Who are you? Like, I understand metaphors, but again, speak when you have something to contribute. It's weird. Like, King of the Hill made fun of that. Yep. Yeah. Feeling the need to offer a positive confirmation when it's not your turn to talk. It's just weird. Oh, I've never heard of that, Tyrannosaurus. Off the wheel to what? No, Harold, that's a stupid question. It's not even an opinion question. Okay. You guys hit me with these one word things, and my brain just goes to a reference that doesn't piss me off. No. Oh, hey, Lucas. You need to not be in here, buddy. Lucas isn't dead, but he needs to. You need to not be in here, pal. Lucas isn't dead, Rachie. Are you a celebrity, Tyrannosaurus? Do I plan on it? No. Ranches and farm require independent wealth for startup. Lucas is my mouse friend. He's a smart fella. He avoided the mouse. And he's been taking a few days to come into the tent. He was sneaking around the other night. I put a nut out for him. I put a walnut out for him. How can you come at me for nothing, Zachary? If you feel like I'm responding to you in a way that's aggressive, maybe you said something to me that I found objectionable. I don't even remember what I'm talking to you about. Oh, Chief. I don't know what that means. If asking you a question is coming at you, you are deeply insecure, sir. Let your testicles drop. Yes. My friend Lucas the mouse. I am also happy about Lucas, Rachel. Or I'm too far south. T-Rex. It doesn't show this far south. I've never seen it. No, it's not, Harold. No, it's not. Mild irritation, Jay. It's a lot of words, Zachary. TLDR. If you couldn't take the time to make sure you said all the words you meant to say in the order that you meant to say them, why am I meant to take the time to read that nonsense? I have the option of good writing. I could read good writing. Instead, you're insulting me with yours. Hello, Coco. He looked me right in the eye, too, Reggie. With tussle hair? I don't know what you mean by that. Is that pronounced Mikhail or Michael? If you think reading is easy, you're doing it wrong. Fluffed up? No, I don't know if I've ever seen that. Oh, like mine? You're saying that I have an old-timey haircut? That's not what I said. I asked you a question. I said that was a lot of words and I wasn't going to read it. If I was worried, Coco, I was doing it wrong. Timeless? The pronunciation of your name doesn't answer that. Yeah, you gone to a state fair, have you, Rachie? Mm-hmm. I said, that is a lot of words. I am not reading that. Whatever. This is how I'd prefer to pronounce it. That's what they say, Harold. Okay, Zachary, you're right. I didn't ask you a question. Maybe you were just too busy reading what you said to find your error when it was my turn to speak. Because that's what actually happened. One of those, Jay. I'm in one of those. Yeah, you too, Spicers. Hope your night goes the way you want it to as well. It's amazing that people can ask you how you are and you can answer them honestly, and then they'll get passive aggressive with you. How you doing? I'm annoyed with that question. No, I'm not having a good time, Coco. Do I seem like I'm having a good time? You have an idea? Eric, don't hurt yourself. Fat girls, man. Anyway, moving on. Afraid? No, I don't experience fear in the same way that you do. Again, I could be reading something good. Yeah, I'm afraid he's going to get a headache, Rachel. Eric has an idea, and I'm starting to worry that he needs an MRI. Please don't be cancer this time. Please actually be an idea. It's too technical to elaborate. All right, Pinky. I mean the brain. I mean Eric.
I don't know what that means, Coco. Homie went from potato to Batman. Eric's going to solve the energy crisis, but he's not going to tell anybody. You know I love you, Eric. Okay, bounce beats. I don't know what that is. Here's the details. 250 characters at a time, Eric. And just be advised. TLDR. I'm telling you what, man, TLDR, too long, didn't read, is the most powerful thing you can say to a human being on the internet. That was too long. I didn't read that shit. But your PFP looks stupid. It's a weird thing to thank somebody for, Coco. TL semicolon DR. It means too long. Didn't read. Yeah, it's from Reddit. Unhoused? Sure. Don't know what it matters to you, Western. I don't know what a Terrence McKenna is, but I feel like that's the second or third time you've asked me that. Ugh. There we go. Don't fucking tell me what to do, Coco. You're not my fucking dad. And if you were, I'd tell you to fuck yourself. Okay, bounce. Oh, like of Terrence and Dennis McKenna fame? What about him? You hear the shit, Eric? What are you just saying? Like, what's your step 2 of just saying? Do you walk up to strangers and just say things? Because if you do, I would be very interested to hear the analytic data of how that goes for you, because I can imagine how it would go for you. These are the Oreo Reese's. Yeah, I'm really kind of looking forward to this. Ooh, it's frozen. Well, I forgot it had peanut butter in it. Yeah, I know. Why? To what end? Where does that contribution bring us? I think a lot of you think I can't see your crash out coming.
How do those two things um how do those two things reconcile, Bounce? How are those the same thing? How do those lead naturally into one another? Because I feel like I was just told to go watch a movie and the movie had nothing to do with the title. Yes, Harold. That's why I stated, oh, I forgot this has peanut butter in it. Hello to Compton, Tanya. I hear you, Eric. I didn't react, but I hear you. I was condescended to by Captain Obvious. Ugh. You two are adorable. Three eyes over here. That feels like an eye too many. With more eggs. I'm not sure that the Mandalorians would agree, FIFA. Rach. I need to go get nicotine. I really should go get nicotine tomorrow, but here we are. I'm still annoyed that you guys think that you're debating me. Debates have rules and a moderator. The moderator asks the question, and you take turns giving prepared answers over a specific amount of time to an audience for the moderator's amusement. We are not debating, and conversations do not feel like that. Debates are a specific thing. That's how they can have a club. I am the masturbator. I am not funny. I make argument a sport. That's what I said. You're not funny, so I said something funny. Thank you, random. No, thank you. We don't have a moderator. I don't have an audience that will pay me to see that. This guy takes fiction with equal seriousness to fact, and he doesn't know the difference, and he thinks I'm trying to have a conversation with him.
I've already called him an idiot in so many words. Why do they stay? If you don't insult them outright, they'll leave. You can't moderate a debate we're having. And we do not have an audience that will pay me to see that. Pay me to see that. Not allowed to have Saturday morning debates. You're wrong. You can think things that are wrong. You're entitled to what you think, in as much as you're entitled to anything. But you are wrong. Because you don't have a microphone and you're not on the clock for 3 minutes. So hello, Deanna. Did you shave your legs for this? Tyranny is correct, Rach. I am the fucking king. And he's nobody. I can have him summarily executed if I choose to. I could do it myself, or I could tell you to, and you will. So, tyranny is correct. The tyranny of the Shaggy, for those of you who know anything of tyranny of majorities. You will learn. There's an adult in this room. Hey, Rach, do you mind ridding me of this troublesome comedian? He thinks that fools are sacred right in my kingdom, and he is mistaken. I would like him exemplarily executed. Goodbye! That is why we have that lever, for anyone curious. Because I'm trying to put on a show for people with stars by their names. Goodbye. Because I think there are a lot of people who misunderstand what it was like to be in the pre-modern world. I think there are a lot of people who think that they have a right to say whatever they want in chat sections and comment sections. And I'm here to tell you that you don't. And that there's a reason that there are bills of rights and constitutions backed by militaries with atomic weaponry, preventing anyone from ever having this sort of power where if they are in a fit of pique, they can, or they're insecure that you're going to make out with someone other than them, and you just throw them in a pit full of starving dogs. There are reasons you're not allowed to behave the way I do in a government. Because if Donald Trump just decided that he was tired of you and he's like, you know what? Actually, just
Shoot them with fire hoses and sick dogs on them. You wouldn't like that very much. Well, you're not trying to be rude, and you succeeded. Fit of pique. Pique. Yes, pique. I'm pretty sure that it's the same word as picante. I'm pretty sure it comes from the French piquant, and that piquant and picante are the same word. Pretty sure. I've been wrong before. And so I'm probably entirely wrong. Something like that, James. Oh, Jamie James left and didn't say goodbye. See, this is why I don't like it when you guys try to get under my skin and I let you, because I was trying to say goodbye 2 hours ago. People like Jamie get sensitive about it, and they leave. Are you Jamie James? James Lily? What do you observe, Trent? And I'll tell you if you're right. Yes, Rach. I'm pretty sure it means fire in the belly. It means he was mildly irritated, so he had someone murdered. It means pique means a complete overreaction to a mild irritant. Pique is like the irritant, but the fit of pique means he threw a fit over like a mild irritant. All right. Anyway, I was enjoying talking to you. Thank you for your contributions. They might seem random to other people, but they're not random to me, T Rex. Thank you to the other Shagonauts for being here. But yeah, it's officially bedtime. I'm more annoyed than I am willing to continue participating. Thank you, Eric, and thank the rest of the producers, Mr. S, Macandfly, and Christopher. If I forgot you, I'm sorry. I love you. It's not that you're not on my mind. It's that you're not in my mind at this moment. Um, yeah, it's a sleepy Friday night. Um, just so nobody gets the wrong idea, I was anticipating this 2 hours ago. That's why I was trying to bail early. Thank you for your best efforts to keep it a good hang, a chill conversation among like-minded individuals. And just in the future, we're not debating. We're just not. You got to get on my level first, which means you got to be on a stage, and I have to recognize your stage as a level stage with my own. So you got a lot of work ahead of you if you want to debate me. Anyway, I don't want you to be me, TGB. You are way too small and insignificant to be me. You have a great morning too, Tyrannus. Drive safe. Whether you're behind the wheel now or you're behind the wheel anytime between now and the next time I get to tell you the same. Drive safe. It would be a major bummer to me if someone close to you in your life informed me that you passed behind the wheel. So just please be safe. Um, Rachel, sleep well. Eric, enjoy cheating your game. I love that you're having fun. Um, Everyone else, thank you for the opportunity to be here. This wasn't a prepared segment. Sometimes I just like to get on here and improvise and kind of show you why the very fourth quarter plan that I complain about NFL coaches having doesn't really work. We aren't in the fourth quarter of a game, but we are in the fourth quarter of a day. So thank you for putting up with my improvising through just trying to talk to the people who come through, even the ones who are saucy, and argumentative. I'm not your friend. I'm not your relative. Only the boyfriend to one of you. Tolerance is a choice, and I don't have to be tolerant just because you're here. I love you. Be well.